A richer life is more than just growing your money. It's about having the freedom to do what you've always wanted to do, making time for the things that you're passionate about, and creating memories with the people you love. Build the life you've imagined with COL Financial, your investing partner for a richer life.
Ready to make your hashtag life goals a reality? Whether it be traveling around the world, doing the things you're passionate about, all without worrying about your financial future. You can reach the future you dream of by what you invest in today. Make your hashtag life goals happen.
Okay, so we're about to start with the main event. Our guest speakers are coming soon. I'd just like to share some of the guidelines that we have for asking questions. So, in case that you are too shy to come up later to ask the question yourself, you can send me, Jessica Cocabo, or Miss Elaine de la Peña, a message at Teams chat. So we all have MS Teams. So you can send in your questions there if you don't want to speak out later for the Q&A portion. So I think it's going to be a safer learning space for everyone. If you want to be kept anonymous, you can, but you can also ask your question directly to the speaker later.
So I am pleased to introduce our first speaker who will be sharing valuable insights with us. So he is a head of partnership at COL Financial, establishing key relationship to advance financial literacy. Previously ensured government institution next ISO 9001 standards and forged partnership to practical business education. And holds degree from UP Diliman and is a certified learning and development professional. She is Mr. Jed L. Velarde. He is, sorry. He is Mr. Jed L. Velarde, a certified learning and development professional.
Okay, great. Hi guys. Good morning. We'll just take this chill lang tayo. You want to could you please tell the person beside you relax. Relax, chill. Let's take this as a learning opportunity, guys. And I'm here together with Andoy to really empower you guys. So take this as an opportunity to really learn. I love the initiative of the Project Greenhorn. They call this, I would really take this as micro learning. You take small bits of information, try to process it, because I believe we get to be overwhelmed pag sobrang bagsak ng napakaraming information. People get to be overwhelmed, right? And we don't want that parang at the end, parang sobrang daming information. So what I do appreciate with those small videos, these are all, bite-size. And today, I'll be showing also a bite-sized video. And we'll share kwento-kwento, tapos maya-maya, tapos na ako. Si Andoy naman. Di ba? Pero let's take this as an opportunity. Now, let me just simply start with my talk. Ayan. So pag sabi kong next. Ayan, di ba? Magic, di ba? Next. Okay. So a lot of people, I don't know kung nasang level ka na right now, pero a lot of people would be asking, how do I make sense of things? Right? Di ba? I mean, you talk about stocks, you talk about investing and all, pero saan ba talaga? Where do I get to start? Some of you, iba-iba. Can I see a show of hands? So among you are already into the stock market and really heavy doing it. Diba? Good. But some of you are in that stage na I'm still on the fence. Parang I know it, but I'm not really so sure. Right. Thank you for your honesty. Diba? And this is a safe space. That's what we'll try to do today. Okay, so in the next few minutes, what we'll try to do is hopefully try to cover this and later si Andoy na lang ang mag-fill up between the gaps. Like that? Next. So, but look at it first as ito. I'll have a bit of a talk with you. When it comes to growing one's money, okay, we'll talk about money moves, di ba? It doesn't have to be complicated. My task today is to make it simple, easy to understand, break it to the point, and hopefully actionable. The question is, let's have a bit of more fun muna ngayon. Choose a color. Kanya-kanya yan. Choose a color. Okay? Who says yellow? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Thank you. Who says green? Raise your hand. Wow, thank you. Who says red? Thank you. And who says purple? Wow, thank you. Okay? Now commit to that color. Don't ever change. Now, interesting enough, next, there's what we call a financial well-being sentiment. It's a study. Now, for those who, I just wanted to relate to the audience. For those who said yellow, can you show the picture? A big chunk, according to this study, though this is a study in the context of the US, okay, among accounting professionals, accounting students, and accounting teachers. Those who chose yellow, sino nga uli yun? Yellow people. Did you know there's a big chunk? Next. There's a big chunk that says 35% of those who surveyed, when they were asked, how confident are you when it comes to your finances, when it comes to your knowledge about financial literacy? 35% says they're hopeful and motivated. Okay. Does it also resonate for those who chose yellow? Ibig sabihin, I have a bit of a confidence, but I have a more space to actually learn. Yan ang nagsasabi ng mga taga-yellow. So if you're yellow, I don't know, will that correspond to your sentiment today? Willing ako, medyo hopeful ako, andito na ako eh. So, ilaban na natin. Okay? Now for those who chose green, yan, green people, in the study, 20% are feeling empowered and happy. These are the people who are so confident na, I know it already. I live it. I breathe it. I eat it. Now, if you're that person, good for you. Sana all. Pwede ba dapat all? And hopefully, a lot of people will be that confident when it comes to your knowledge. Ito lang, yung parang pag tinanong ka, how confident are you in your financial knowledge when it comes to understanding all of this, lalo in the investing aspects? Now, those who chose red, 20%, according to this study, the red people, parang marami-rami yung red people. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Yan. Says they are neutral but cautious. Yan. Parang they're on the fence. Andun ako sa stage na parang, okay lang. Pag tinanong mo, how confident are you? Not so much, pero gusto kong matuto. Okay? Now, if you're in that position, you're part of this 20% who were surveyed. And it's okay. Now, for those who chose purple, raise your hand. Purple people. I love purple. Ang sarap ng purple, di ba? Ang sarap ng ube. 20% says, 20%, parang nawawala. Ayan. 20% says they're overwhelmed and stressed. Which is, normal lang yan. Diba? People get to be overwhelmed and stressed. Lalo na on things when it gets to be too intimidating when they were confronted with thoughts about the, pag sinabi kagad stock market, uy, parang nakaka-intimidate. And did you know, there's a study that says financial stress can age you tremendously. Nakatatanda ang financial stress. And true enough, hindi nga ba? Tingnan mo yung katabi mo. Stressed ba yan? There's a study na. Pero ayon rin sa pag-aaral, okay? Ayon sa pag-aaral, I want you to raise your hand. Okay? Sino dito ang willing to learn? Okay, lahat naman tayo. Can you tap the person beside you? Congratulations. Diba? Because according to this study, sa lahat daw na willing mag-aral, willing to learn, nakababata naman. Okay? Sabihin mo sa katabi mo, ang bata mo ngayon. Sagot ka, sinungaling. But then again, what we're trying to understand is Where are we coming from? We're coming from some of you, both ends tayo of the spectrum. There's who are really confident, kaya ko na yan, di ba? Maangas, kaya ko na yan. And there's on the other side na medyo, I'm not really that confident. It's okay. You're in the right place. Okay? And I have to hand it for the organizers to come up with this very good avenue, a space for you to learn. So today, we'll try to simplify things. And let's start with this really, really foundations that what's the basic concept rin naman talaga of financial independence. Everybody say independence. Sometimes it's interchangeable. We call it, a lot of people would say financial freedom, financial independence. It's pretty much within the same sphere of understanding. Ano ibig sabihin yun? Translated ko na lang when you call about I'm financially independent, means money is not anymore an issue. Yan. Okay? Pagising mo sa umaga sa bahay, oh, saan ako kukuha ng pera? Anong gagawin ko? How can I address all of the needs and wants and all? That's financial insecurity kung iniisip mo at that point. Financial independence is a freedom to say, money is not anymore an issue. I can do the things I like whenever I like. Question. Have you been to that point of going to a restaurant, mag-order ka and look at the prices of the menu? Or have you experienced just looking at the pictures of the things that you really wanted to order without anymore looking kung magkano to? Di ba? Have you been to a mall and checking out those jackets, those outfits, those shoes, and parang nag-alangan ka because you're still looking at the price tag? Financial freedom means you can simply, ang sarap nito, sana all. You can simply, oh, gusto ko yan. Sir, display lang yan. Oh, sige, solid ko na. I mean, you can do the things that you can buy it. Or, ang sarap mag-travel. What's your travel goal? Financial free people can just simply go, ay, Taiwan tayo. Ay, tara, Afghanistan tayo. Pakistan, yung mga ganon. You can go wherever you want. That's financial freedom. And today, we're just simply laying the foundations. And hopefully, this will really encourage people. Okay? Now, let's move on. But it has to start with the right mindset. Okay? Because just like anything else, knowledge is good, but really have to translate it in such a way that it could really drive you into certain actions. So when you talk about the mindset, ito basic, I really teach this with the youngest will be grade schoolers. Kasi nga kailangan namin i-package to in such a way that they understand. Pero just for many of you, it's just a reminder. Like package it like Spender Sam. Whatever he gets minus the expenses, that's what you save. Kaya nga, di ba, ang tingin nila sa savings, yung anong natitira? What's wrong with this? Kasi ano lang natira? Paano kung walang natira? What if there's really a lot of expenses? Negative pa yung savings. Question, bato-bato sa langit, do you save? Di ba? Doon pa lang tayo sa basic issue. Pero look at saving, can I give you a different narrative? Look at saving as paying yourself first. That's another way of saying it. Kung babayaran mo yung sarili mo per hour, how much would you quantify that? Oh, ako, I get to be paid like ganito, this much. 10,000 pesos per hour ako. Ay, mga ganun tipo. How much? And that really depends on how you value yourself. Okay? So if you look at it this way, can I pay myself first? That's what savings is. Now, dito pa lang tayo. Let me challenge you. If this might be for you. I might be talking to somebody. If you have not been saving intentionally, hindi lang yung tipong example saving. If you haven't been saving intentionally, take this as a sign. Save intentionally. Okay? Para sa inyo to. Huwag mo na tingnan yung katabi mo. Okay? Kalabitin mo na lang siya. Now, if saving that's a situation, but let me just simply narrow it down to you guys. Let me encourage you to be just like showbiz tayo, no? Savers Sarah. Savings is good, pero let me challenge the narrative. Whatever you make right now, whether in the form of allowances or your future income, minus savings. You intentionally set aside something. Inuuna mo magtabi, and whatever's left, that's what you will do for your expenses. What's the difference between Sam and that of Sarah? Sam, kung ano matira. Sarah saves intentionally. Okay? And dito, may excuse si Sam. Wala talaga eh. Si Sarah doesn't have an excuse. I really have an intentional saving purpose. That is why may matatabi ako. Between Sarah and Sam, I'll go for Team Sarah. Okay? Pero no matter how good that is, I'll go for Investor Ian. Di ba? Ito, medyo Tito feels na to eh. Ian na to eh. So Ian, Tito Ian is more of, it's not just enough to save intentionally, he invested. Because savings is good. Savings technically is like, you set aside money, that's good. But alam mo, yung naitatabi na uubos din eh. Whatever you set aside, eventually may kukurot-kukurot, minsan dadakot ka, mauubos yan. But what is important is what you set aside, you make it grow. Investing has a growth component there. And that is what Ian is doing. So no matter how good what Sarah is doing, Ian's has a much better game plan. He saves and invests. And then what's ever left, expenses. Now, alam na natin to. Yes. Sure, here. The challenge is here. If we know it here, how can we translate that now into action? And for some of you, this might be a pivotal time for you. At a moment to say and challenge yourself, sige na nga, anong gagawin ko? Mag-save at mag-invest na ako. And that's the kind of behavioral change that we want. More than just knowledge talks. We want to translate it into actions. A decision of a mindset saying, I'll make a difference sa financial life ko. Even as a student. Okay? Now, let's move forward. Sabi nga T. Harv Eker, to master your money, you must manage your money. So when you manage money, it does not grow by its own. Eh. There is a sense of intentional, purposeful action that we have to really make. And that's the purpose of this gathering also, to move you into a certain point of action. Ano nga ba talaga? And let me just go back. This is the rule of thumb. Some of you may even have struggles, to be honest, with budgeting. Rule of thumb, 50, 30, 20. It's a rule of thumb. Some might have tweaks with this. Pero budgeting-wise, a lot of people still would struggle. Pero ito, as a base of reference, 50% will go to your basic stuff. Okay? Even if you could actually apply it for your allowances. And then 20% go for your financial priorities. Isama nyo na yung savings and investment. You can apply that for your allowances. 30% lifestyle choices. So that you won't feel deprived. Other people would feel, savings ako ng savings, kawawa ko. Hindi ka naman intent na maghirap at mag-struggle at maging miserable buhay mo. The 30% would give you an allowance, a buffer, in order for you to actually make sense para hindi ka naman deprived. Okay? Does this make sense? Okay? And when it comes to that, to budgeting, some people helps, may jar system sila, may envelope system sila, may mga apps na ngayon. Check out Mint. May budgeting apps ngayon, may account, Excel-based pa nga siya, that would really help you eh. They're all designed, may AI-empowered apps na nga rin eh, to really help you assign and go through this. Okay? But again, the point here, hopefully it would move you to budget and make allocations. Kung wala pa siya sa budget mo yung investing, maybe it's time. Miski small amount, miski etneb lang, pwede na. Right? Now, it reveals my age. Because investing is critical. You guys are born in the 2000s. Okay, but this poster is in the 1990s. If you happen to notice, one-piece Chicken Joy with drinks is only 39 pesos. Age reveal. Inabutan na namin ni Bong to. 39 pesos. Medyo that's ang point lang nito, inflation. Magkano na ngayon one piece Chicken Joy with drinks? 80, 90, 100 na. O, di ba? So that's That's ridiculous. The point here, inflation. Inflation sa Tagalog ay inflasyon. Hindi, wala. There's no Tagalog one single term. Inflation, ito yung patuloy na pagtaas ng halaga ng mga pangunahing bilihin at serbisyo taon-taon. Ano pa yung pangunahing bilihin? Kaya pataas na yung halaga ng bilihin natin. Yun. Or the continuous rise of basic goods and services year after year after year to the point that the purchasing power of our money deteriorates. Traidor ang inflation. It eats up the value of your money. Habang tulog ka, pagising mo, yung 100 mo, parang 96 pesos na lang. So the challenge for wise people is to combat inflation. In what way? Making sure your money will grow faster than what inflation eats up. Yan ang gagawin natin. That's the task. A healthy, a wise person, a successful investor, a confident person would make sure what you have right now would grow. May grow. Hindi ka mag-aantay na matubos at matunaw ito. So here's the challenge for us right now. You still collect Starbucks? Diba? May nagkukulik pa ba niyan? Parang tapos na, or for 2025. Apparently, just yesterday, hiningan ako eh. Sir, do you still have these stickers? Are you collecting stickers? Sabi ko for 2026. Parang hindi na ata eh. Pero parang meron pa. Pero if you really quantify it, in order for you, way back in 2015, the Starbucks compilation, if you want to quantify the amount of stickers and Starbucks drinks that you have to buy in order for you to avail of that planner, you will have to shell out 2,160. Fast forward. Today, there's a 32% increase. So that's 2,850 na. May naging special ba? May dadagdag ba sa mga pages ng Starbucks planner? I don't know. It could be possibly an issue sa... Wala. Do you feel life-changing having a Starbucks planner? I mean, do you see people walking with Starbucks planner? Oh, may Starbucks planner ako. Iba ang klase ako. I don't find any value with this. But then again, ang point lang natin dito, it has reached to that point. And it's a cultural thing. It could be a marketing thing as well. Pero that's the thing that could really challenge you. That 32% or that even a 2,850 can go a long way if you get to properly use it, aside from having a trendy planner. So it's really more of something that we get to consider. Now, so investing is critical in a sense. Next. Yeah. Next. Yeah. Okay. So while investing is critical, it just simply means to capture all the values. We have to beat inflation. You want to reach our goals, because we'll talking about goals later on, and making sure that our money would work. It's all there, and at the end of the day, we want to make a difference. Money has a goal. Money has a purpose. Hindi lang yan para yumamang kayo. I'm very passionate in the belief that it's supposed to make a difference in other people's lives. Not just for you. Yeah, that's the purpose of money. Hindi ka lang para yumaman. Kasi parang it's so empty, di ba? I just wanted to put things in perspective. Pag yumamang ka, nag-invest ka, yumamang ka, you have money, and then what? Di ba? Would you want to just simply be for your own personal aggrandizement, or you want to make a difference dun sa community mo, sa mga tao around you? That's the purpose of money. Okay? So let's put everything in perspective. Now, next. So what can you invest in? Well, are you familiar with all of these logos, the brands that these logos represent? You talk about the banks, you talk about your commercials and services. Some of you might have also been your own client of this. Naging kliyente rin kayo ng mga to, di ba? So, did you know that you can actually be part owners? Like we've seen earlier, can actually be part owners. Who among you decide to be an entrepreneur, to start your own businesses? Wala? Yeah, it's okay. That's a nice thing. Diba? It's a very nice thing to really start kasi you're employed. Okay, so did you know that more than at least, there's a study, I haven't really showed it here, 60-70% of startups eventually fail after 5 years. Those who start. But that should not stop you from starting your own business. As sinasabi lang natin, indali mag-start ng business. To sustain it and to continue to grow it, that could be the challenge. Here, in the stock market, there are already businesses existing. What you need to do is just simply ride in its growth. Okay? And as it grows, you grow with it. As it fails, you fail with it also. Bumabakas ka, tumataya ka doon sa growth and the demise also of that business. That's why it's important to know what kind of business are you getting into in your buying as well. Now, to capture it in a micro video katulad ng ginagawa ng Greenhorns, in keeping with the theme, I'll show you, rather than me talking about the basics of the stock market, I captured that in a video format. Eto na to. Can you play na lang? Tapos tutuloy natin. Just introduction lang naman to Foundation.
We all invest with a purpose, whether it's for retirement, your children's education, travel plans, or your dream house. Whether you have short or long-term goals, investing in quality stocks can help you achieve them faster by making your money work for you. Did you know that you can be a part owner of some of the country's largest and fastest growing companies? The likes of SM, Ayala, Jollibee, and other household name corporations. Yes, it's possible when you buy shares of these companies through the stock market. Now, let's understand how. Let's take Jollibee as an example. Jollibee is one of the world's fastest growing Asian restaurant chains. Did you know that Jollibee is not just owned by a single person? In fact, it is owned by thousands of people, which could be you and me. How is that possible? If companies want to raise money to grow and expand their business faster, they can sell some shares of their business ownership to the public through an initial public offering, or IPO. This is when they list their shares in the Philippine Stock Exchange to be sold to investors. Investors will need to open an investing account with a stockbroker to start investing in the companies listed in the PSE or the stock market. For example, the money that Jollibee will get from selling their shares to investors can be used to open more restaurants or branches and hire more employees. Once you buy shares of Jollibee, you become a part owner or a shareholder of the business. And because you're a shareholder of Jollibee, you can benefit from the company's future growth and profits. But also remember that the value of your stock investment may decrease if the company suffers a loss or performs poorly, which is why it's important to choose your stock investments well. As a shareholder, you can earn in two ways. First is through selling your shares at a higher value. If you buy shares of a company and it continues to grow and earn more money, the value of your shares may also increase. Now, if you sell your shares at a higher price than what you bought them for, then you would have earned from your investment. For example, Wilcon, the Philippines' leading home improvement retailer. The price of Wilcon in 2017 was about 5 pesos per share. In the last 4 years, Wilcon grew and performed well, and the price is now at 29 pesos per share. If you bought shares of Wilcon back in 2017 and decided to sell them at 29 pesos, then you would have earned almost 24 pesos per share, and that's a gain of more than 400. Then you would have received 12,800 pesos in cash dividends. Can provide greater returns than other types of investments and protection against inflation. There are 2 ways to invest in stocks using your COL account. You'll have more control as you'll be the one to choose what companies you like to invest in, how many shares, and when you want to buy them. Another way is buying indirectly through equity or stock index mutual funds, which is an easy and convenient way to begin investing in the stock market. Stock index funds are pooled investments collected from many investors, managed by professional managers, and invested in the members of the PSE index. The PSE index is composed of 30 of the largest and most active companies selected by the PSE that represent the overall performance of the Philippine stock market. It's important to spread your investments in different companies across different industries to manage and lower your risk. Buying stock index funds can be an easy way to diversify, as you're investing into the 30 companies that make up the PSE index. Investing is the most effective way to build your personal wealth and secure your finance. Participate in the earnings and growth of successful companies. 2, build protection against inflation. And 3, help you achieve your financial goals faster. Successful investment requires discipline. Build the habit by starting a monthly savings and investment plan. As an example, some people try to follow the 50-20-30 rule. We recommend investing for the long term, as this solves the problem of short-term volatility or the choppiness in price. The stock market tends to go up and down in the short term, as it can be affected by economic, corporate, and even global events. But looking at the bigger picture, history shows that the PSE index has climbed up in the long run, despite the short-term ups and downs. It is also important to invest regularly. It lets you buy stocks gradually over time at more affordable levels and gives your money maximum time in the market, which allows the power of compounding to work best for you. Entering the world of investing can be exciting, but may seem challenging in the beginning. But don't worry, because we're here to help you get started and guide you in your investing journey. COL Financial is the leading online stockbroker in the Philippines, trusted by close to 500,000 customers. Opening a COL account will give you access to an online platform where you can invest in both stocks and mutual funds. For as low as 1,000 pesos, you can already participate in the Philippine stock market and become a part owner of some of the largest companies in the country. It's easy, convenient, and affordable. In COL, we believe that every Filipino deserves to be rich. Open your COL account at signup.colfinancial.com and get...
Maraming po salamat. Ano? Well, that's just an opening. We'll breeze through in the next 10 minutes. We'll breeze through what you need to understand also today. So next slide, please. So at least that goes with this inflation. So what you can invest in? You can invest in stocks. You can also invest in stocks, in funds. What are funds or mutual funds? It's pooled investments. Pera mo, pera ko. Pinagsama-sama, handled by a professional fund manager, investing not in one, but several or the basket of stocks. Okay? And that's a simplified way of doing it. And funds are great because, I gravitate, especially if you're starting. Okay? It's affordable, easy. You can do as low as 500 pesos. You can actually have and do and purchase already. It's professionally managed. Why dealt with? Ikaw, you focus on it. Well, other people much experience and learn can do the investing in your behalf. And of course, there's a lot of exposures simply because it's a pooled fund altogether. Now, how to become a confident investor? The question is confidence. Okay? I'm sure hindi naman yan pagising mo confident ka na kagad. You just simply attended one seminar, confident na ako to get. Well, there's a simple there are simple principles that we can actually look for. Ito yung key strategies for long-term investing. So you see probably what we're getting into. We're gearing towards long-term investing because you have to deal with the volatility of short-term thing. Bawal lang myopic sa stock market. You know what myopia is? Short-sighted. Kasi in short term, there's really volatility. It goes up and down. It's crazy. But zoom out. In the long-term perspective, things get better. Now, there are 3 things, and I'll just go through these 3 outline, and then we're done. In order to be confident, you need to understand who you are. Know your investing persona. You need to build a diverse portfolio. Ano nga yung portfolio earlier? It's just simply a collection of your investments. Okay? So, and do it consistently. 3 things. Know your persona, diversify your portfolio, and do it consistently. Let me just tackle it briefly one by one. So, the strategy for knowing your persona, ano ibig sabihin what's your investing persona? What type of an investor are you? Kasi different strokes for different folks. Not everyone here could be like a savvy trader thing. Not everybody can just, you'll find investing long-term kahit boring. So, hanapin mo where are you, understand, because hindi mo pwedeng ipilit kasi, ay bakit siyang galing isa sa market, oh? He gets to really time it. But you're not that kind of a person. Why push yourself to be that? Okay? Everybody say no pressure. Okay, everybody say no pressure. So no pressure. Kasi it's really more of understanding, ano ba ako talaga? And just to give you an idea, how to find yourself, engage yourself, look at it in these 5 levels. In terms of risk, are you a person who's gravitating to more of a low risk? Ako yung I'm not a person who's into high risk thing. Or ikaw yung tipong aggressive ka talaga. Laban, taya ko na yan. Or are you in the middle? Okay, moderate ka. So it really depends. Makikita mo yan based on your decisions. Personally, you have to really be more introspective as well. Of course, there are tests na tinatawag ng mga client suitability test. You can do it online. Malalaman mo siya. Type mo lang what investor tolerant in risk tolerance tests. There's so many online that you can actually do so that you will gauge what type of risk you are. Investing horizon. Are you the person who is into more of a short term? I'm investing for the next 6 months lang. Or I'm looking at it in terms of years. Now, I'm talking here to young people. You know your innate advantage already because you're young. That's an advantage for you. Do you think you have 20, 30, 40 years in your life? I'm sure of. Then take advantage of that. Okay? Now, just a short take lang yung anak ko, growing up, I only have one daughter. She saw me nung she was like 3 years old. Nakita niya mga charts. Said, Dad, what are you doing? And I took that as an opportunity. Anak, I'm buying companies. Would you like to buy companies with Dad? Sabi niya, sure, Dad. Hindi niya alam pinagsasabi niya. Sure, Dad. O sige. Okay, and we have an account, we call it, kasi you need to be at least 18 years old Interest for account. Sabi sa batas, you need to be at least 18 years old to have. So nag-joint account kami. Tas you know what an ampaw is? Angpaw? Di ba pag Christmas, birthday, New Year, a portion of that goes to her account. And I will let her show her yung list of yung mga logos na mga companies, listed companies. Anak, these are the companies you can actually be part owners of. Which of the companies would you like to buy? Guess, ano pinili na anak ko? Siyempre, Langhap Sarap. Dad, I like Jollibee. Oh, I like Mirag. Mga familiar sa kanya. I like SM. Anak, did you know that if you get to buy it, and then we'll buy it, okay? You'll be a part owner of that company. Really, Dad? Kumain kami sa Jollibee nung isang araw. When he was like, sabi niya, Dad, I love my restaurant. Anak, hindi sa'yo to. Technically, part owner ka. The success of Jollibee is your success. Pero, sige, pwede na tanggapin mo na. Nasa loob ng mega mall yun. So, wak kami, Dad, I love my mall, Anak, SM, you're a part owner of SM, but yes. O sige, yan. You know what I mean? I'm driving at. Now, fast forward. 13 years. She was 3 years old back then. She's now 16. Teenager na yung anak ko. And imagine for the last 13 years, she's been doing this. Okay? Investing, a portion lang. She's not really actual trading And look what has happened. Her transformation, her perspective, Dad, how's my investment? Kasi may access naman siya, nakikita naman niya syempre, teenager, di ba? Nililigawan. So there's the time na talagang lumalapit na sa kanya yung mga guys. Ano mo tanong niya? Do you have an investment in the stock market? Naging tumaas yung level, yung basis niya, yung mga basis niya for men. So the point here, imagine if you have 20, 30, 40 years in you. And I'm sure you have. That will really make a whole lot of difference. So imagine that investing horizon. Knowledge level, walang pinanganak na expert. Kakapanganak sa, ay expert na ako sa stock market. Everybody has to start somewhere. So you have to gauge where are you a beginner or a veteran and everything in between. It's okay. You have to also, where's your budget coming from? And understandably, if you're a student, I have a really limited budget to get into the market, but as you grow, don't underestimate the power of small beginnings. We get to start from somewhere, miski maliit yan, just like in a small snowball effect, it grows big. What's more important is you get into the habit of doing it, starting it right. You have to consider also the time allotted. You're studying, and of course, eventually you'll be working or you have your own businesses, do you have the time to actually, focus on the market, its ups and downs? So those are all considerations. All of this form your persona, your investing persona. Next. So how do you mitigate that risk? Kasi nga, going back to the risk, how do you acknowledge risk? Risk, is the stock market risky? Investing in the stock market is risky? Yes. Well, life is risky. Okay? Yung pera mo tinatago-tago, nauubos yan eh. 'Di ba? Yung pera nga sa bangko, eventually, nakukuha rin eh. Yung perang hawak mo na lang, nauubos. In what sense? Hawak mo na siya, pero ubos. Because of, may gumagastos, isa pa, because of inflation. 'Di ba? So sobrang hawak mo, yung pala, yun ba, bagong lipunan pa palang pera yan, 'di ba? So it's not about avoiding risks, it's managing risk. And how do you manage risk? Of course, you get to diversify. You wait. Time will always be the better judge of things, and don't put it in all in one basket. These are all basic stuff, but we wanted you to understand that this can also be something that we have a foundation. Sabi natin, we need to understand your goal. When you jump into investing, when you jump into growing your money, understand your goal. And yan, find goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, time-bound as well for you. Yung mga smart. And for a lot of people, I was invited in a talk among the youngest group I taught to are grade 5 students. Kasi walang available speaker eh. Sige, pinull out na ako. Grade 5 students, how do you keep them attentive? And I learned a lesson. First time, sabi ko sa kanila, I talk about retirement sa grade 5. Nakanganga yung mga bata, ha? Retirement? Which is, learning, at the back right now, you don't, why would young people, it does not resonate when you talk about retirement. Pag may nagsabi sa inyo, you will retire eventually. Pero would that hit a mark? Not really. Ang layo pa eh. Because according to the study, you don't see yourself retiring, which is fair enough because you're young. Okay? And it's not a really compelling time for people to really, rally and let them know that they will be retiring. But there's a hack. According to this study, and I did it to the next round, there's an app called Agify. And there are all AI-enabled online tools right now that if you place your pictures, papatandain ka niya. Okay? And then once that you have that, it's a workshop that we did. And when we tell the students, uy, matanda na, that's your old self. You know what happened? It's something clicked in them. Na-realize when young people realized, uy, ito ako pagtanda ko, something clicked. And that's a study also based on the behavioral adjustments of people seeing themselves getting old. Mas magre-resonate ngayon yung retirement aspects nila. Okay? Now, just do it on your personal time, but imagine yourself getting old. And you'll have to think, oh nga, magre-retire ako eventually. But that's far off pa. But ang point natin, it could be the next trip nyo to Sapa, Vietnam. But why would people wanted to go to Vietnam right now? Napapansin nyo sa mga posts, di ba? Or next travel goals nyo. So goals, make it something. Make it really, for goals to stick, make it meaningful. Make it something personal. Tie an emotional attachment to it. That makes it all the more something that you wanted to pursue. Now, this one, it's really more to guide you. Like for some people, how would I know if I'm more into stocks or fund investing? Or it could be both, just to give you a sort of a comparison in terms of ownership. You're buying individual companies, or you want to maybe have a more exposure to a basket. In terms of risks, higher risk, higher returns. Of course, the stocks, lower reward, lower risk. Funds, management, self-managed, professionally managed. Cost, depends on the board lot. And you can start as low as 500. Volatility, it's more volatile among the stocks. And of course, the funds are less volatile. Investor suitability, it really depends on your persona, but it could really match if you're the more of, you're a beginner, baka I might gravitate towards this one. Okay? We're not saying one is good over the other. We're simply saying it really depends on who you are. Okay? Yung kaninang nakita nating mga assessments online. So next, so strategy 2, we're down to the second one. Sabi natin kanina, know your investing persona. This time, create a portfolio that is diverse, made up of quality. Underline namin dito quality stocks. Okay, how do you determine what a quality stocks is? There's a hack. It's an acronym called GEMS, GEMS. When you look at the stocks, is it part of a growing industry? Okay, parte ba to ng like, is the industry really growing in a sense? Kunyari, Metro Bank, BPI, China Bank, part of the banking industry. So you look at the industry, is it really growing as a whole? You look at growth of that particular company, and of course, it's simply because it's publicly listed, you can actually find it's a PSE edge. You get to see the disclosures of what's happening in the company. Who runs the show? Are they led by people who are credible enough to could steer the company through good times or bad? And of course, superior products and services, are they still coming up with products and services that gets to be patronized by the Filipino consuming public? So these are all just to encapsulate how to spot a good quality stock. Now, of course, on our part, COL has a list of guidance, a research. We give out regular stuff. We even have a pre-filtered list of good quality stocks based on those criteria, so that it will make it easier already for our clients. And there are investment guides, and it would address both whether you're timing or you're just doing it for more of an investment long term. And of course, understanding that there are different types of funds referring to different types of objectives and yung timetable, whether you wanted it like a money market, less than a year, or going back to the equity funds, going for long term. Take note, funds are managed pooled investments yan. Okay? And they get to also be invested in the stock market. Yung depende sa exposure nila. So when you talk about managing risks, diversification is important. If you're just buying one stock, you're not diversified. May lumapit sa akin, Sir Jed, bumibili ako ng BPI, BDO, Metro Bank, China Bank, Security Bank. Dami kong stocks, oh. Is he diversified? No. Why? Because he's still buying from the same single industry. Whatever happens if the banking industry falls, diba? So to be diversified really is you have local, global stocks, bonds, make it all really diversified, multicolored, so that whatever happens with one, at least there are others. Diversification. It's like spreading. So it simply means you spread the risks. That's the whole idea of diversification. Okay? And of course, strategy 3, do it consistently. Ang hirap maging consistent sa buhay. Diba? Yung maligo nga araw-araw struggle pa for some. Yung mag-aral nga lang consistency is not something innate to human beings, but it's something that we get to learn. And of course, to really help us, there's what we call peso cost averaging. It's a simplified way of investing, making it really more of a regular thing. You just have to understand, everybody say how much. Everybody say how much. Everybody say how often. Tandaan yung dalawang yon. How much? How much can I possibly allot as an investment? It could be like 500, 1,000, and do it. How often? It could be like, I plan it every month, every quarter, or every year. And do it in buying either stocks, quality stocks, or a basket, or pooled investments, or mutual funds. Do it again and again and again. Nothing fancy, nothing magical. It's being used by foreign fund managers all over the world. Sa Japan, they call it yen cost averaging. Siyempre, sa Pilipinas tayo. Sa US, what do they call this? Dollar cost averaging. It's a simplified way of getting the stock market. It's a strategy in itself. It's a methodology that you get to, okay, I know I'm just simply buying it and buying it regularly. I'm not selling it. Just to show you example, I allot 1,000 pesos monthly. Every month for the next 5 years, I'm buying stocks or equity funds in particular. It's a basket of good stocks. Okay? On the first month, naglabas ako ng 1,000 pesos, it get to buy me that much of that funds. The next month, bumagsak. Naglabas pa rin ako ng panibagong 1,000 pesos, but it got to buy me more of that stocks. Tumaas mo ba? Buy, 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 buy. Now, no selling yet. Along the way, the average costs, okay, pans out. And again, this works long term and provided you're buying quality stocks or funds. And of course, COL has what we call an EIP. It's an acronym called Easy Investment Program. You know why it's easy? Ask me why. Because it's not hard. Yeah, pinadali lang talaga siya. Easy kasi, it's an application of the peso cost averaging, pero automated na siya. Ibig sabihin, if I get to decide how much can I possibly, siguro gusto ko 1,000 every month, o kaya every quarter, and the system would automatically buy in your behalf. Okay? Tapos ino-notify ka lang, ay walang pera dun sa cash balance mo. Which is okay, you won't be penalized. So it's a simplified way, it's convenient, and you can still do whatever you want. At least at the back of your, just do the things that you really want and still get to be invested. And long term is the way to go because you get to deal with the volatility of the market. The market is harsh. The market in the Philippines is really volatile. It's going through a lot of challenges. It's inefficient here in the Philippines as compared with the States. But then again, go for long term because eventually the price movement as compared with the volatility will really pan out along the way. Ito yung pinakita ko sa video. If you have 50,000 over the next 30 years invested with a 7.6 annualized return in the stock market, by the next 30 years, that will be around 9 times or around 450,000. And imagine you're not even trading here. That's the same amount of money you're just simply placing. Hindi ka gumalaw dyan eh. Provided you're buying hypothetically in a market that is growing. Okay? And of course, for JFC, it has gone up, it has gone down during the pandemic. Boom! Sobrang baba. And recently, did you know that it has purchased ano nga ba? Tim Ho Wan? Tim Ho Wan? And what coffee was that? Compost coffee. So it's really something that we could look at, the expansion of Jollibee in terms of as a business. How would it really translate come election year? How would this translate for 2025 election year with all of the retail that we have? Would that also mean greater earnings for the company? Pag nagkakaroon ng mga meeting de avance, anong pinapakain ba ng mga politiko? Oh, di ba? Let's see. So is there a way to make things easier? Kasi nga, I mean, Sir Jed, it's too complicated. It's too much. Can you simplify it further for me? Well, let me just handhold you. Because a lot of people say, I may not be that confident in choosing what particular investment. Or are you saying, I don't have the time to manage it? Or ikaw yung, I don't have the extra cash. Sa totoo lang, estudyante ako eh. Where could I possibly get it? So here's shameless plug. We have what we call CSG, Call Strategic Growth Fund. It's a type of an all-weather fund that gets to be invested not just in stocks, also in REITs, real estate investment trusts, in bonds, but all-weather. And what's so cool with this is it's affordable. It's really designed for people who are starting, for students even, because you can just shell out at least 500 pesos. And then you get to add 100, 100, 100. I mean, saan naaabot yung mga yan? Yayaman ka ba dyan? Hindi. In the short term, definitely not. But you are actually going for the long term as an investment, and there's no holding period. Anytime that you want out, you can just simply take it out. So it's managed by professionals, and as so far, how is CSG doing? It yields around 10.92% as compared to the increase of the PSEI around 1 to 2% pa lang of last year. So not bad, di ba? So again, this is again an option. It's not really saying that this is for you. For a lot of people, they just wanted to simplify things. They may not want to make it really complicated. Probably get to start somewhere. And this could be where you could possibly start. Okay? Pero the point here, you need to start strong. Okay? Sabi natin, di ba, 2025 moves for us is to really understand the risks. And it's risky, but the overlying principle, you have to manage it. How do you manage it? You diversify, you learn, you understand. And of course, you get to understand as well how to be strong. To be strong is translated into actions. Kaya nga ang tanong sa inyo, one day magi-invest ako. One day I'll really focus on my knowledge how to grow my money. One day I'll build my wealth. Or is it day one? Today I'll make a difference. Today I'll do that step. Today, this is day one that I'll make a shift. I'll shift the narrative. And the choice is really yours. Now, again, explaining we're here for the last 25 years. We love doing it and sharing our experiences. And the best time to plant the tree was 20 years ago. Sabi nga nila, the next best time is today. And start investing. If you have questions, we're very active in our social media accounts, Facebook, Twitter, and you watch us also. We have guidance as well through our YouTube call videos. Oh, by the way, if you're interested for openings or internships, scan the QR code. You may want to also get to. We're also looking in entertaining people who may want to look for to challenge themselves in that joining that journey as well. Okay, so thank you very much. Happy investing, and maraming salamat. Hopefully, you get to learn something. Maraming salamat.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sir Jed, for that very insightful talk. We'd like to give this to you as a token of our appreciation.